Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues and the Batman universe, and we are looking at the final toy from my Batman animated series collection brought to us by Kenner and kinda sorta Hasbro for the very last little bit and a teeny tiny bit of Mattel. But this is a Kenner product. This is Wayne Manor. This has been the backdrop of our whole review series up to this point, and I thought it was kind of fitting this would be the last official toy that we are going to be looking at. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, there'll be other things from the Batman animated series after this. This actually technically is not the Batman animated series Wayne Manor. This is actually, in fact, the Batman Forever playset, which is actually technically the Batman Returns Wayne Manor Command Center. They made a Batman Batcave for the Batman Tim Burton movie, and then I think maybe they also made this kind of in conjunction with Batman, but it was, I think, actually produced for the Batman Returns. And then what Kenner did for every movie or cartoon series that came out, they just recolored it for whatever movie it was. So this has more of a green scale on the color scheme on the front, and that's to denote that it's actually Batman Forever, since its primary color for Batman Forever was green, so that's why Wayne Manor looks green. I never, purchased the animated series one. I kind of waited and drug my feet for Batman Forever when Batman Forever came out, and that movie had, kind of come and gone. This was at KB Toys, if you remember those places. I so wish KB Toys was still in existence today. How many cool things could we probably get from KB Toys? Anyway, this was on clearance, and I think originally this was $50, $60, and I think I may have paid $30, so about half, and that wasn't that big of a pill to swallow to pick it up. So I like it a lot. Then this thing was just reused and painted over and over and over again. Even went into Batman Beyond. If I had waited for the next round we get through, Batman and Robin, they had one too that was, the front of it was more red and bluish in brick color, more blues. But they did do a New Adventures of Batman, Wayne Manor, Batcave Command Center, and it came with an Alfred. So that was the first time you could ever get an Alfred, was originally in that, and I almost talked myself into buying a whole nother Wayne Manor just to get the Alfred figure, and then I end up missing the 4-pack that Alfred originally, or the second time Alfred was made available in the line, so I was kind of bummed I never actually got an Alfred. Still look on eBay for him, but he's still really kind of a pricey figure, along with Commissioner Gordon and Talia. She's another expensive figure. But enough of that. Let's actually get to the workings of it. Like I said, all of these Wayne Manors are exactly the same. The color scheme is different. Obviously, you see the green here, but this was... We'll kind of get into the back there. There is a little hook that you can turn and flip that will actually, lock it in place so you can kind of carry it around, and the windows that are up here. I'm going to have to apologize a million times of positioning the camera so you can see, so hopefully you saw the hook here. Latch onto that little screw that's right there. And then the windows you can pop out, and you can actually use the window piece as a holder to be able to carry and move this thing around. So I'm going to try the best to get this all in frame all at one time, but it opens up. So the windows kind of came down right there. So we'll take a look at Wayne Manor first. Not a whole lot of detail. I'm going to really try and get this positioned just right. There are a couple extra hooks and pieces in here, so I'll have to apologize to get this in where I need it to. So let me get the camera down here so you guys can see it. So again, I apologize, this thing is really large. It takes up my whole little, review table here, kind of spans the whole entire table. At least on this, you know, one half of it. So we've got Wayne Manor. We've got some working doors over here. So we could have, you know, shut the doors here, and Bruce Wayne be able to walk through his doors. So every once in a while you can position, you know, somebody there. You could use this as Wayne Manor, which, you know, you have the clock over here. If it's the access point to the Batcave that Bruce, and let's get him over here, Dick, could be walking towards to go in. It's also set up to be, you could use it as a museum scene if you would like to as well, which is why they kind of have the pictures there to kind of quasi-represent the Joker as he was defacing the property in the art museum from Batman movie, Tim Burton. As the figures are kind of falling, if I can get this working just right. So this little rope here that I am fussing with, again, sorry guys, this is going to be kind of awkward. There's the rope. So you can kind of recreate when Batman grabs a hold of Vicky Vale. Let's find a Joker. Here's the Joker. I'll try and get this working just right. Maybe back the camera up. I'm going to have to kind of get a little far away to be able to show this whole thing. But I think you're going to get the general gist of it. You got this sliding arm here. Hooks on to Batman. And let me just make sure I can get this in frame. And see if I can kick the Joker out of the door. Ready? Here we go. Not so much. But I think you get the general gist, so the Joker should have went like that. Out the door. So you got this little gimmick that Batman can slide down. Of course, there he goes there. So I must have not had it just right. But again, it just clips onto any figure. Any figure's arm there. So again, it would work for, you know, our good old buddy Nightwing for to be able to slide down. So nice little gimmicky thing. It would have been nice if there was a little bit of extra detailing in and around this portion of Wayne Manor, just to kind of have, you know, something else to look at. So occasionally you could have Bruce Wayne looking out the window, or, you know, whatever type of thing. So if we can close this up, as this is going to be really awkward to do. I apologize, guys. But you can see, you know, Bruce Wayne, oh, looking out the window. There's people I need to punch in the face. I better get going. So, I'll move Batman around. Why do I keep saying Batman? It's Bruce Wayne. It's not Batman. Batman and Bruce Wayne aren't the same. So, you know, we do have the access point to Wayne Manor here, which we're taking a look at Dick. Move the camera. So this will just kind of slide. The thing about this also has another function. It's kind of wobbly here, so you'd have to kind of hold it just right. They're a little too tall to fit through there. Dick's hair is a little bit too high. I think Bruce is actually a little bit shorter, so he does fit just barely to be able to fit through. So that was, you know, something I could play with once in a while to kind of have them act like they're going into, you know, Wayne Manor. Or from Wayne Manor into the Batcave, excuse me. The other gimmick that this has, I'm going to probably have to go handheld here for this. I'm going to set some things up. Maybe. Don't know if Catwoman is going to stand on her own. I'd like to be able to try and do this properly. Rob, what are you doing? I do not know. There we go. And she's going to fall. So we'll just put the penguin down here. If I can get this to work right. This table nobody really wants to stand on. So there's the penguin. We have our skylight. We'll go handheld on this, so I apologize, guys. So we've got our skylight up here. So if we can do this right, we'll get up over the penguin. Got our skylight, can drop Batgirl. She's not heavy enough, but the skylight is supposed to break, and down on top of the penguin. So there you go. So, to recreate the little scene where Batman kind of jumps through a skylight and can kind of go down through. So there's that. You've got to kind of really get it positioned just right and latch it just a little bit. If you push it up too much, the weight of the figure really has a hard time dropping it down. Let's take good old Batman here, and sometimes his weight will knock it through. You've really got to kind of push some of these. So yeah, you get the idea that you can kind of mess around and play with it like that. So that is one side of Wayne Manor, or the Wayne Manor side, or the art gallery, if that's what you choose to make believe. So we'll turn it around to the Axis Chemical side, this is originally designed to be able to kind of recreate that with the tubes and everything, but with the green paint scheme and the little electrodes and things like that, they were trying to do Batman Forever. So that's kind of where this paint scheme is kind of for. But again, like I said, this is the same Batcave that was produced in 1992 or 1991 actually for Batman Returns. So this cup piece comes off. There we go. And sometimes I'd fill this up with water if I thought about doing something like that, or you could put anything in here really. But it's basically to catch your figures. So we tried to have Catwoman up here earlier, got the guardrail, and maybe she's fighting Batgirl. So we get Batgirl up here, and then we have this. Get it over here just right. Again, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to quit apologizing. You guys know. I'm just going to keep saying sorry. So we've got our cup down here, and let's see if I can get this back far enough for it to work. And you see the little yellow button here. So of course you push the little yellow button, and the trapdoor goes down, and she breaks her shoulder and breaks a rib, and because she doesn't fall into the cup, and her foot also gets broken. So that's the gimmick and gadget for this, and you can tell it's for the Axis Chemicals that Jack Napier would get dropped in and would become the Joker, as it were. So that's kind of supposed to be able to allow you to recreate that type of scene. But generally when I do have this up on the top of one of my shelves, the side that is always facing 99.9% of the time is the actual Batcave itself, which I think is actually the coolest part of Wayne Manor. Batcave playset. So as you can tell, we'll zoom in here to the control boxes for Wayne Manor. And of course you see there is Harvey Dent, Two-Face, and the Riddler, which these are stickers from Batman Forever. The stickers are starting to get a little old, so they're peeling off. So the only way, if you weren't real keen on the color scheme of knowing what this is from, the stickers always indicated what the Batcave Wayne Manor play set was. So for the animated series, you would have animated series stickers for the villains, and then Batman and Robin, you would see Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, and Batman Returns had the Penguin. Like I said, I think maybe the Batman film might have had that. You see the wardrobe for Batman, which is very much for Batman Returns, that he goes into when he gets ready to fight the Penguin. That big steel door that drops open. I think he had a sliding door for the Batman film, so they tried to incorporate some of those aspects into the Batcave. But all the figures set in it very well. The steps are a little kind of weird. You can get some of the figures there. There's an accessories locker, if you will. So I do have a Batarang here that's from a DC-UC figure. Some of the accessories obviously are so big for the characters, but they won't all fit in. But if you did have a DC-UC Batarang or something smaller, some of the gadgets would fit in there, and that was a way for you to kind of hopefully keep your gadgets safe. But some of the grappling guns are so big you'd get one gun there and one gun down on the bottom, but a nice little touch, just a little something extra for you to be able to play with. Let's see, the other gimmick here I'm just going to grab Dick Grayson. Gets the call that there's trouble, so you open up the inside of the locker, strap Dick Grayson to it, close the door, and then you turn this little green knob at the top, you pull it up and turn, rotate halfway around, and now the Boy Wonder is ready for action. So in the part of the review, I had said sometimes I would keep the Nightwing in front of his costume here, or maybe have Batman up here, thinking it's, you know, Jason Todd. So if you look at this, you will actually see that this is painted black on the inside, which is very Michael Keaton-esque Batman body style. So this was obviously made for the 92 and 89 Batman film, which was, you know, the whole point of this. And then of course you have Batman Forever was in black as well. Now the animated series did have a gray and black trunked silhouette for Batman, so you knew where Batman, you know, obviously would stand. So that was the gimmick of the Batcave portion of this. All the figures do set pretty much, like I said, Batgirl does not set in the Batcave very well, so sometimes I would position her on the stairs as if she's, you know, getting ready to climb up. Of course, you could have Batman sitting at the controls, but his arms do tend to get in the way, but, you know, he can do it. So most of the time I would have my Bruce Wayne figure sitting at the controls, and he's able to get around into the computer chair a lot better than Batman because his arms are so long. And even this Batman 2, he kind of has a problem from time to time getting in there. There's a nice hollowed out spot on the inside where the legs can go, so we'll put Batman in here as well. Sometimes doing that. So you kind of get the general gist. Some of these figures are kind of setting up a little bit of a diorama. Let's go off camera here. Set this up here. Grab the Batmobile. Can put it into shot. Maybe get... Let's see where we're going here. I am all over the place. Maybe perhaps getting the Tim Drake Robin. At the computer. And possibly even Nightwing over here. So get a nice little diorama-esque thing going here. Although I have all of the new Batman Adventures figures up here instead of Batman himself. So we'll kind of do that. And there we are. This is the Wayne Manor Batcave playset. It's big, it's kind of cumbersome to be able to have setting up, but it's a nice display piece for the action figures, and I thought this was a really good purchase, and I pulled it out. My wife was like, oh my gosh, you do have everything Batman related. She's like, you have a Batman dollhouse. And I'm like, it's not a dollhouse. It's a action figure house. So this is going to be the actual last Kenner toy that you will see. I've got one more Kenner product for the animated series, and then we'll kind of get into some other Batman animated series type of things, and I do have some. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Again, I'm sorry for the shaky camera and trying to get all of the bits and pieces of the playset in here. It's been quite a little bit of a challenge to film this, so hopefully you guys dig this, and we'll back up here and try and get everybody into the shot as best we can. So today we're taking a look at the Wayne Manor Batcave Command Center playset from Kenner. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.